Well, I'm out here today. I'm gonna try, got some rain, so I'm not sure how long this is gonna last, but I'm gonna try with a couple different rods. Right now I'm just gonna try something pretty simple. I'm not sure how well it'll do, but we're gonna give it a shot because I'm going with Big Bites bait. That's with bite juice, just a little silver and white tail on my white chatterbait. Just the white chatterbait. Like I said, nothing fancy, just gonna try to give it a go to see how well the fish are biting. We got a little rain in the area. It's kind of been raining all day, so I'm not sure how great this will go, but we're gonna give her a shot, see. First time I'm using my Kistler Kyrios rod. I'm not sure if you can see that, how good you're seeing that. It's with my Chromium bait caster. Let's see how we do. It's just a paddle tail worm. Kind of doing a slow retrieve currently, just to try to see what options, if anything, biting. You know, with the rain and everything, I thought maybe might see some bites, but it's 65 sprinkles. I'm not sure that it's gonna do anything. Water's pretty dark, but I'm trying to just see what we got out here, see if we got any bass out here. Any bass out here, anything at all that's interested. After my trip up on the Detroit River, pretty much all I've been wanting to do is fish. As you guys may have seen on my last video, we got our 4-man limit, and did pretty well. Real good catch. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about it. Dylan Tails did a great job, and we caught our limit, so can't complain about that. And boy, were they good eats. Nick, who was on the trip with me, sent me a message today that just before the rain this morning, he got into some bass, which obviously it's not bass season here in Michigan, but when you start getting into them where they're being active, it's kind of exciting to see what's going on, see what's gonna catch, what's gonna bite. I'm doing like a medium spin just to kind of see if they're active, biting on some motion. I have a couple other lures with me that I thought about trying. It's gonna all depend on how this one does. This rod's new. It's a Kistler Kyrios rod. And I'm just trying to work it, fan it, see what's out there. It's kind of a bad spot, I think, on this river, just because it's upstream from the dam. So we got to really hope for fish to be, you know, on this side of the dam. So far, I like the casting of this reel. It's actually doing well. It's the Chromium reel, bait casting reel from Kistler rods. None of this is, you know, sponsored or anything, but kind of doing a little review on the rod and reel itself. The rod itself, it's weird. It's a light, medium, heavy rod. It seems to be handling this 3/4 ounce jig pretty good. Able to cast it pretty well. Just kind of casting it, you know, slow retrieve, stop, cast, or reel. I can definitely feel everything about the movement under the water. Took my thumb off that one, so almost bird nested, but I was able to adjust that pretty easily. It's fluorocarbon on the reel itself. I went with fluorocarbon because I thought normally I fish with braid, but with this rod I can do up to 20-pound braid. I got 15-pound fluorocarbon on, and I'm just fanning it around, seeing what I can get. Had rain pretty much all day. Thought I had a little snip there. Right now the fish are nearing spawn. I mean, it's getting pretty close to spawn time. Here in Michigan, anyway. It might be on the beds, it might be on the shores, or shore stuff. But it's, until the temperatures get more consistent, I won't really know temperature of the water. I'm going to assume, I don't have a way to check that right now, but temperature of the water I'm going to say is about 46 degrees. So it's getting to the point where they're going to get on the beds and they're going to start spawning and stuff. I'm just seeing if there's anything moving into the area. I don't have a whole lot of luck on this river. Been here a few times. I've caught a few smaller fish, but nothing of size. And this river really plays funny because good cats come out of this river. If I go south towards Vassar and Frankenmuth area, it tends to pull a little bit more of the bigger fish. I think south of the dam in Vassar, they tend to get quite a few bigger bass and catfish and stuff like that. But here, catfish, sometimes you can get north and you can get into some good sized catfish north of where I'm at currently. I'm hoping the next couple weeks I'll be able to get my kayak out here and just kind of float and fish the shorelines, because the shorelines obviously have everything. I've seen pretty good sized bass kick up off there and get carp. Not that I target them, but I do enjoy some carp fishing because they fight like nobody's business. They're a good fight, especially if you've gone a while without catching anything. It's a good fight. Some people just pulled up, so if I get quiet, that'll be why. I don't really like talking in front of people. They just think you're crazy around here if you're having a conversation with yourself, even though you're on a mic or whatnot. So, depending on where they go, it's going to depend on if I continue to narrate my trip. It looks like they're just going for a walk, so maybe I'll be all right for now. My wife came, she's gonna go for a walk. She wanted me to bring the dog. I'm kind of a little hesitant on bringing the dog when I got my fishing rods inside the car, because he's a big old bulldog, old English bulldog, and he doesn't care about what's around him. Basically, he's gonna put himself in the center of everything, so I don't want to end up broken rods. I mean, what's the point? So, especially when I brought my new rod here, this one here, the Kistler rod. It's the first time I fished with this setup, so far I'm pretty happy with it. I don't have any complaints with it right now, or currently. Definitely has a sensitive tip. The reel is a 731, which is plenty for me. Seems to work well for me so far. This river is mostly just for fun. I don't do a whole lot of catch, keep, or anything like that. Oh, the rain's deciding to come down now. Which is fun, because I didn't bring my rain gear, but we'll see how things go. If it continues to come down like it is, I may call it quits on this one. Rain was supposed to clear out by 6:30, but some pretty heavy storms across the state of Michigan today. I was really kind of excited because my son was pulling bass out just before the storm hit his part, and he's over in the Potterville area. And he was pulling some bass out, and I was like, oh God, that just makes me want to get out there now. So that's what I'm doing. It was fine. We went to the restaurant, Club 24, had some food and dinner, and decided, jokingly asked my wife if she wanted to come go fishing. And she doesn't have a fishing license. She's not huge on fishing, but she used to fish when she was younger, and she hasn't really ever showed the interest to go back out. Maybe, you know, like some dock fishing she'd do. Went out to Oscoda a couple years ago and wanted to do some fishing while we're out that way, and she wasn't about that. So she's currently walking around. There's trails around the park here, that all around the river, that they have, that you can actually get out and get a pretty good walk in. So that's what she's doing currently. Me, I'm just trying to get some more fish on my channel. I got a 4-man limit on my channel over the weekend. That was pretty exciting. We did pretty well. I think everybody had a good time. We just went down to Detroit and fished the Detroit River. And we're up in the Thumb, so our trip was scheduled for 7 o'clock in the morning, which meant I had to leave about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. And nobody was up for leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning, so we kind of said, nah, let's see if we can get a hotel down in Detroit, which I did. And I'm glad we did, because I think everybody enjoyed it. We got to sleep until 6 instead of 4. But we had gusting 55-mile-an-hour winds on the drive down, which was a little less than exciting. But I was glad that when we got on the river, we actually did well. The wind was out there, but it was nowhere near what it was the day before, which was my biggest concern, because being on the river with the chop that's going on the river because of the wind, I mean, 55-mile-an-hour gusts really can hamper anything you're trying to do for fun. But we nailed it. Like I said in my previous video, towards the end there, Logan got the largest fish, which he pulled in the last 15 minutes of the trip. It was a monster walleye, 26, 27 inches. It was pretty impressive. He did well. I had one that was probably about 18 or 20, 24, I think was what we measured it at. I can't remember now, but it was only a few inches smaller than Logan's, but that was pretty fun to see him pull that big one in. Last time we went on a trip on the same charter, Telling Tales charter, I didn't realize that he gets motion sickness. So he actually experienced that and spent most of the trip getting sick. So we only got like a 4-man limit. Just got a boil right there. Well, we got a 2-man limit that time. No, we didn't even get that. We got like 8 or 9. 7 is the limit on at the time it was Saginaw Bay, but we pulled in. I think we caught 9 or 10, but we could only keep 8, I think it was. I don't know if it showed up on my camera or not, but I did get a pretty good boil right here in front of me. I'm just not sure if it was, looked like a bass, small one. So I'm gonna keep working that area and see if I can entice this thing to take a bite. Kind of started this YouTube channel just because I've always had a love for fishing. I grew up fishing, grew up on Lake Panema, and I started watching some YouTube videos a couple years ago and thought maybe I can do that. Maybe I can bring something to a channel that someone would enjoy, but excuse me, I had this cough for a while. My wife and I got pretty sick a couple weeks ago, and the thing that is killing us is this cough is seeming to hold on and hold on and hold on, but so I was kind of sick of my last video. I'm not sure if anyone picked up my coughing on that, but I did have the sniffles a little bit on that video. But at least I don't feel like garbage like I did before. It's just this nagging cough that kicks up all of a sudden out of the blue. I have no idea. So I'm kind of slowing down my retrieve right now just to see if I can entice anything to jump out at it. I'm not an expert fisherman by any stretch of the imagination, but I know a few things, but I'm always looking for advice, tips. I'm always looking for advice and tips. So if you have any, leave them in the comments below and maybe you can teach me a few things. I love my bait caster reels. I use those most of the time. I do have a few spinning reels and the push button closed face spinning reels, but a lot of those I got for my youngest because he really enjoys fishing with those. Tends to be more coordinated with those. In fact, last year at one of the spots we went to, he was the only one to catch fish, and he had like 3 or 4 rock bass. Wish I had brought my glasses though, or my sunglasses, because I have a hard time picking up this in the water. A lot of reflection as the sky gets lighter. Not that I'm complaining because it's not raining anymore, but yeah, this rod, from what I can tell, it definitely has a nice tip to it. It's not overly sensitive, but it you can feel it. You can feel the lure you're using. You can feel the popping it's doing. Kistler rods seem to be pretty damn good rods. I just kind of out of the blue decided to go with them. I've heard a lot of good things about them, and so I decided to give them a shot. See what I can think of them myself. I don't need someone to tell me what they think of them. I want to see what I think of them. So far, I'd say it's a pretty good rod. Obviously, I'd like to catch a few fish on it, but I keep buying left-handed retriever reels, and I don't know why I do that. I mean, honestly, I don't know why. I actually feel more comfortable holding the rod in my left hand and reeling them in with my right. But because I'm left-handed, I keep thinking left hand is what I want. But every time I'm out with them, left hand is not what I really want. I know on my charter trip I had a left-hand retrieve, and boy was that messing with me terribly. So I'm jigging and jigging, then I had to switch hands to reel it in with my left. And not that I'm complaining, but I really started to realize that maybe I should probably go with something go with something right-handed instead of always left. Everybody tells me you're left-handed, why don't you use a left-hand retrieve? Well, it's all about comfort. When you got to set a hook, if you're using your offhand, setting that hook is not as easy as you hope. Thought I had something chasing me for the second there. The lure I'm using, or the jig I'm using, is, I want to say 1/2 ounce, maybe. And it's a 16th ounce trailer. It's got a little sparkle to it, but I'm thinking about switching it out to get some green pumpkin on there. Brought a couple of those with me too, just to see what I can do with that, see if I have any better luck with it. Like I said, the water's not perfectly clear. It's stained, but that doesn't really matter right now because it's evening. There's a couple spots down the way here, a little north of me, northeast of me, I guess I would say, that I'd like to fish, but I'm probably going to do that for my kayak. I'll drop in here where I'm at right now and float going upriver just to see what I run into, if anything. Like I said, northeast of here, there's a bridge and input that you can actually get down to the water underneath the overpass. That is, looks spicy, deep, clear. This here tends to be a little bit more dirty just because your in and outs right here. It's not great. Looks like there's a muskrat or something crossing the river over there. I did have that one boil over here. I couldn't make out what it was. It's off to my left a little bit. Just trying to work the water a little bit. Trying to see if there's, you know, this time of year you should get some things up by the shore. Everybody, I'm fishing on the shore, but casting out in the center of the lake, when I'm on my kayak, I'll cast the shore, which always cracks me up. Seen a few jokes about that, but I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see if, you know, if anything's on this river down at this end of it, up here in the Kyrios area. It looks like it'd be spicy, but I know that just south of here, there's a dam that is broken. So that it doesn't flow the water like it should. Doesn't flow the water like it should, but in summertime this gets really low and it's almost impossible to fish. You get sunfish up at the shore. Small, not anything big, just small sunfish. A couple bluegill. I think I've pulled one walleye out of this, but it's stocked. It's a stocked walleye because it's just a baby. There's a pond just up here to the left of me, just up this way. You can kind of see the overhang that feeds off into it. They stocked the pond up there. And They hope it flows down over into this river, what's stocked. I could probably throw in there and get me a stocked walleye or carp or something, but nothing major. I think I pulled 1 bass, 1 carp, and 3 small walleyes out of that thing. A few bluegill, nothing major. So I only do that. I only fish in that spot when I'm just going to do a simple worm. But honestly, I've never caught anything trophy size. I've seen some good sized fish get pulled out of here. Especially at the next bridge, not this one that's by me, but the next bridge over. They, downriver, they've pulled some good catfish out of there. I know my nephew has pulled a few out of there. There's a lake that's not easy to get to around here. It's called Lake Funorama. I don't know if that's the actual name of it. It's just what all the kids around here call it. Yeah?
This much mousy blonde hanging off the end of it. Gorgeous. Like, they walk out in gun club somehow. Okay. And then the gun club, you go up a little bit further, you can go back into the trail. That's where they were standing. I walk in there and then walk behind her. I'm like, oh, hey. His hair is absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? I'm like, absolutely gorgeous.
You going back? Wife came back. She's went for a walk. Now she's heading over by the pond area that I was talking about earlier. Before I leave, I'll go by there and take a picture. I don't know what happened to the fish that boiled right in front of me. Like, said it wasn't gonna be interested. I mean, I may be using the wrong color. It was water stained. I'm using white on silver. Well, it's actually white on white with a little sparkle. Probably have better luck with it if the sun was out. Thinking about changing it up and fishing with the green pumpkin. 'Cause I haven't had it. I had 1 hit, I think, and it wasn't overly interested. Had that one boil that happened right in front of me. I don't think it was interested in that either. I think my wife's heading over to that bridge over there. It's kind of a cool little thing to walk over. I know my son loves to climb up on that bridge and fish off the little stanchions that are out there, the little supports. Climb off the bridge and stand on those and fish right by those little stanchions to the bridge. Obviously, we didn't have too much luck there either, but there's one of my videos I posted. We're at the gravel pit. That place, I've seen a lot of good fish come out of there. And I really enjoy that place. It's so quiet. Summertime comes, so you might as well forget it. But there's no time, you don't have a time. You got to be out of the area. Like here, I think they close at dusk, so pretty soon. I just thought I'd get out, go fishing, see if there's anything I can catch, anything that would be fun for my viewers. I want to thank everybody that stops by and views my videos, like, subscribe. I really do appreciate it. It really does help the channel, and it makes me feel good that I'm doing something that people are wanting to see. But it doesn't look like much is going to happen here, and the rain started again. I think I'm going to wrap this up here shortly and head on home. We're looking, it's just a little after 7. I guess I've only been out here for about 40 minutes. So maybe I'll change it up now. Try a different color and see if I get bites on that. I guess she didn't end up going over the bridge. I haven't seen her cross over yet. There's some people on the bridge, so she probably avoided them. We'll see. Look like they're just obnoxious. She might have went down to the other dock that I've fished on in the past. Oh no, she's over across the river. She found the other trail. That trail across the river over there actually comes out over at the bridge down there. I have a nice little walking path. A lot of people like to walk that. The only thing that's kind of goofy about that path is you're right next to the road, so it's a little loud. That bridge right over there, they're going to replace in June. It's supposed to be out from June until the end of August, which kind of sucks. It's really the only way south without doing a pretty good detour on 24 here. I had a hit, missed it. really looking forward to when I can actually do some topwater fishing. I really enjoy topwater fishing, and I try it every year. The blow up on topwater is just amazing to me. Catching some weeds down there. Again, I just got a clear, I don't know if it's picking up on the camera or not. There's some sparkle in it. Flexible spin tail. Just a white head jig with the sparkly skirt. I would imagine that that would do pretty amazing if I had a little bit more sunlight. Kind of packed this one and wanted to use it because it gives me the rod that I wanted to use. And I saw that the sun was starting to peak when I came out, and I thought maybe it would help, or the sun would work with me. But doesn't look like that's the case. The sad thing is I'm not seeing anything close to the shores right now, which I was really hoping I would. Going up to Gladwin Memorial Weekend, and we're staying on at a Venmo, or not Venmo, but Verbo home that's not far from the lake up there. So I'm gonna be bringing my kayaks, as long as the weather permits, obviously. The weather permits, I'll get that. Get the kayak out there. And get out on the water. Plan to fish there. Got a wedding on that Saturday, so I'm gonna see about fishing that weekend. Starting to get a little bit more traffic here at this park, which is kind of strange being this late, because I think they want you out of here by dusk. It's getting there, getting close. And that looks like I have snagged up, which of course sucks. And that broke free. Things like that happen. You just can't